Hi, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me pretty soon. Just a second, I have to find myself on my other computer. Takes a second for everything to start up. So this, I always like to start this a little early. I'm trying to find myself here. Ooh, look, I think I found myself. Okay. Just a couple minutes early so that I can get on and get everything working. The two computer things sometimes doesn't work very well, so it takes me a minute to get going. Oh, hi, Lois. All right. See if everybody, oh, people are getting in. Hi, Lois, how are you? I think I got everything working, so hopefully you can see my screen now. I came on a couple minutes early because I sometimes have trouble with this. Hi, Lisa and Paulo. So make sure you send me some thumbs up so I know that you can hear me and see me okay. Or you can see my screen anyway. How's everybody this evening? Hi, Marilyn. Getting people to find me now. It takes me longer to get on when I share my screen. So I usually come on a little earlier than normal so I can get all the computers set up. With two computers, sometimes it takes me a little bit. Hi, Pat. So make sure you send me either thumbs ups or comments so I know you got in okay and you can hear me. Getting a few people in here now. I can see my screen, so it must be working. Oh, hi, Denise. Yeah, I got a new computer for Christmas. That was, my dad wanted to get me something, so I split it with him, and he got me a new little computer, so I don't have to take my long arm computer off my long arm every time I do one of these classes. My old computer finally croaked, so it's not working anymore at all. I could get online with it, but I can't even do that now. So how is everybody this evening? Hi, Deb. Hi, Becky. People are coming in. So make sure you say something when you come in that you can hear me okay. Just make a comment and say hi, or just so I know you can hear me. Is the microphone working all right? I can't hear myself. Hi, Jolene. Cool, we're getting some folks in. Hi, Becky. We'll wait a couple more minutes. We got, I had a bunch of people signed up, but some people had emailed me. Hi, Margaret. People emailed me and said they had things they had to go to tonight. It's so busy this time of year with concerts and all kinds of things, you know. Hi, Mitzi. Sometimes it's hard for people this time of year. I remember as a kid, my birthday's in December, and it was very rare I didn't have a band concert or a choir concert or something on my birthday. So then when I became a band director, I still had stuff on my birthday. So watching Iowa basketball. My dad said he was watching the basketball game too on the way home. He said it was in New York or something. Hi, Mitzi. Loud and clear. Good. Pat, thanks. I always worry about this one a little more. Sometimes Facebook is a little freaky with the screen sharing, but most of the time it works out pretty well. Sometimes I have trouble like getting started. So when I come in, I like to come in a little early because I know several times I've had to like close my browser, restart the computer, and come back on again. And I want to make sure I have plenty of time to do that. Oh, hi, Deb. People are starting to come in. That's awesome. Okay, so while we're letting people come in, I'm just going to kind of let people find us. So starting in January, I've decided it's kind of hard for me to get home on Tuesday nights in time because sometimes I get stuck at the store. Hi, Deb. And so I've decided that I'm going to actually do these classes on Sunday evening also. So the first Sunday evening of the month will actually be the software class. It'll be on the software group, and then we won't have session or sew along with Jan. And that's kind of the way we're doing it anyway. We just happen to have these on Tuesday. So I think I'm going to change it, and then all the classes will be on Sunday. It'll be easier for me because then I can have the same day every time, and then also I can get home because my problem is I often I get stuck at the store on Tuesdays, so it's hard for me to get home sometimes. Oh, hi, Jackie. Hi, Deb. Got the other Deb. Hi, Garnet. So we will do we will start sessions on software on Sundays in January. So January will be, just like, let me get you the date. The first Sunday in January will be January 5th. So that'll be the next sessions on software. And it will be at 6 o'clock instead of 7:30. And then we'll get done earlier too. So that way all of the classes are on Sunday evening to make it easier for everyone. And then it'll be easier for me too, I think. So hopefully that will work okay for you. I'm trying to keep it a little bit more consistent, and the Tuesday nights were a little bit difficult for me to get home. So sometimes I don't get home very early because Tuesdays are very busy for me. Okay, so we got a bunch of people in here. So I will go ahead, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I did upload, hopefully you noticed, I uploaded the notes to the file section, maybe a half an hour ago. And then you can go download them. Either, you can download them if you got some of them beforehand, or you can download them after the class. And I rewrote these notes. I hadn't taught this class for a while, and I rewrote them. And I'm going to use tonight, I'm going to use PE Design 11. Design Database really has not changed from version 9. So if you have one of the older versions, it's going to look basically the same. The only thing that's a little different may be the path that we follow tonight to get to the designs that I'm going to look at on my computer. So that may be the only thing, but it's going to be very similar. So I'm sure you'll be able to find the designs. There's a lot of designs built into PE Design. And so it's there, but they put them, they altered slightly the folder that they put them in over the years. So if you have older software, you may have to slightly alter the path that we're going to follow. So, okay. So let's talk about Design Database. It's one of the parts of PE Design. And it is the area where you can like organize your designs. You can convert files to different formats. So like if you have a different format machine, or if a friend of yours and you need to convert something for them, that's where you do it. You can also read the designs that are on the machine in PE Design. And that's where you bring them in, is through Design Database. The PHC designs, you can see the pictures of them. So if you've created a design and like saved it on a stick from your machine, they're going to be in either PHC or PHX, which is the Luminaire. So those are read in the software. You can display the previews. You can like print database catalogs. You can display properties. You can bring them from design database right into layout and editing, where it's like the main part of the program. And we talked a little bit about that. You can search for designs, and this is something that really is handy, and I'll show you how to do that. You can create like pictures, like JPEG pictures of your designs. So let's say you had digitized a small design for a customer and you wanted to send them a picture of it. Well, you can produce those in design database. And then you can write multiple designs to either a USB stick or to a card. Like I still have an old machine that I have to put one of those old brother cards in. So you can do multiple designs in design database. And so I'll show you that at the end. It's very handy with the USBs too, because you can put your USB in and then you can go and get all the designs you want and put them on the USB all at the same time. So it's very handy. That way you don't have to go from file to file and then keep, copy pasting. You can just do it right inside the software. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so that's what Design Database is. It's kind of like a Windows Explorer program that gives you all of those abilities. And I've used Design Database a lot, and I really like it because then I can go look at all the pictures of my designs, and I can go from file to file real quickly because it has like a little Explorer window on the left-hand side. So when we open it up, you'll see that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and open the software. There's a couple ways to do that. If you are inside of your software, I'm just going to open up PE Design, my little PE Design 11 here. And if you're inside the software, you can actually go directly to Design Database from Layout and Editing, which is the main part of the software. So it's under Option, and then it's Design Database. So I can go to it from there. I often do that because I've had this portion of the software open, like doing something or maybe digitizing something. Then I go to Design Database. Yes, Mitzi, PE Design 11 is a different software than PE Design Plus 2. So this part is not in PE Design Plus 2. This is in the full software, to answer your question. So anyway, I use this occasionally under Option. I go to Design Database, but let me show you where it is on your computer normally if you just want to open just that one. So I'm going to go down here to the Start menu, and I'm going to go through my, all my programs are listed here. So I'm just going to scroll down until I get to PE Design, and it's PE Design 11. And then if I click on the folder that says PE Design 11, one of the icons is Design Database. So it's the second one down on mine. And I'm going to go ahead and just make a shortcuts on my desktop so I can just leave it there. So if you just kind of put your mouse on Design Database and hold the left mouse button down, you can kind of drag this out to the desktop, and it makes a link to Design Database. So I'm just going to go ahead and set this down here. A second, I'm going to move this one over. Put it down next to Design Database, or to the PE Design 11 layout and editing icon. And then I can have an icon right here. I could have opened it from where I was. Here's my list of programs. And I go down to PE Design 11 and then just click on Design Database. But I made a shortcut for my desktop. So that's kind of handy to have it out there. So here's my desktop shortcut. So I'm just going to double click on that and open right up into Design Database. Design Database will look slightly different from version to version. They really don't have, they haven't really changed it much since, they really haven't changed it much since version 8, actually. So this is going to look very similar to even everybody's that has the older, the older softwares too. So, oh, hi, Kathy. Kathy made it. Okay, so Design Database has a couple of different windows here. And there's a top portion of it and a bottom portion. If yours does not have this bottom portion, there's a little arrow over on the right that you can click. So see, now mine doesn't have the full version, the two screens. These little arrows open up the bottom section, which is like the writing section. And Jackie, you have 7. It's going to look very much the same. It has not changed very much. So it's very, very similar, okay? So the bottom section is where you can write things to cards or to USBs. And sometimes if I want bigger pictures, I'll just close that bottom section down for a while until I'm ready to use it. But we'll just leave it up so you can kind of see the difference here, okay? The first thing I want to do is the system or the software actually defaults to metric. So I like to be able to see the designs in inches. And so I'm going to change the system units to inches. And it's under this little option menu right here. And then I can select my system units and I'm going to go to inches. So it's under option, click on that, systems, select system unit, and then inches. And I like mine in inches just so I can see how big things are. Second, I'm reading my notes, so I have to turn the page. Okay. And over here on the right, or the left of the screen is how we navigate around. So like, I remember when I first saw this software, I found it very confusing because I didn't understand this navigation. Well, now we're more used to, I think, seeing this Windows Explorer type navigation. And so it isn't so confusing to me anymore. So I want to get to a folder where there are designs to look at. And I use the software, the folders inside the software. And so I just closed this PC, it made this really big. So that way we can get to our folder that has the designs in it that come with the software. So it's going to be in this PC. So here's that on my screen on the left. And I'm going to click the little plus signs to get to places. Okay, so it opened up that. Now I need to find my local drive C, which is like your hard drive on your computer. Most everybody's is hard drive is local drive C. You may have to scroll down to find it. Oh, there, I found it. So it's Windows C. All right. And then I want to go to my program files times 86. So there's 2 different files that say program files, but we want the one that says times 86. And I'm going to click on that little arrow. So see, I opened up the little plus sign. And then I'm going to go to brother. So there's a brother folder, and I'm going to click the little plus sign. And then I'm going to go to PE Design 11. If you have like PE Design Next or PE Design 7 or whatever you have, you'll still have those folders. So I'm going to click on my 11. And then I want to look for my library. So the next couple of path words that I have on the notes may be slightly different if you have an older version, okay? So I'm going to look for my library. And then I need to look for design library. And then I need to look for my floral number 3 folder. Okay, so as soon as I click on that folder, there are embroidery designs in there, and look at all the pictures that just showed up on my screen. So now I have all these flowers on my screen. So as you go through, like that design library folder, if I click on animals, there's animal designs, or birds, there's bird designs. So that's how you find your designs. You have to use the navigation on the left. So as you get more used to going through things, in this exercise, you know, I basically wanted to show you where the designs were from the software. And so I use the designs that were built into the software. But say, for instance, I have a lot of designs in my documents. So if I go to documents, which is right here, and I opened up that plus sign. There's my documents. And then I went over here to, let's see, it's called Embroidery Designs, my folder. Got to find it. Somewhere here. I can't remember how I did it. Oh, that's right. On my computer, I don't have any embroidery designs on this one. I have it on another PC. I have another separate hard drive. But like, here's my Anita Good design bags. I know there's designs in there. And then I can go into number 2, 4014, and here's all these names and everything. So that's how you navigate in the software. You just have to open up the folders until you find the designs that you want. And so let's go back to that, that floral 3 folder that I have in my notes. So here's all these pretty flowers, and these are all in the software. Okay, so there's a lot of designs that come with the software. There's a whole bunch of folders here that are all inside of PE Design. And some of the older designs or the older versions didn't have quite as many. There's a lot in 11. So I'm in that Floral 3 folder. Give me a second, I'm going to turn my notes. And I can look at these designs in several different ways. So at the top, there's different ways of seeing thumbnails. So I have these in thumbnails right now. And there's 3 different sizes. So there's a couple ways to change those. There are some little icons right above the little navigation screen. If you hover your mouse over them, one says large details or large thumbnails, one says small thumbnails, and one says details. So if I use my large details, or sorry, I'm having trouble talking tonight, large thumbnails, see I have some nice large pictures here of my designs. If I close that writing screen at the bottom, then you can see more of them. So, and then I can get some really nice big pictures of what I'm looking at. If I do the small thumbnails, then they're smaller and I can see more on the screen at once. And if I do details, which is this one here, something's beeping here, just a minute. Oh, never mind. Okay, so here's the details. Details is going to give me a list of all of the designs. There will not be a picture there. Now, there are times when we want to use this, and I will explain that after a while, okay? So most of the time, I like to look at things in large thumbnails because I like to see a big picture of what I'm doing so I can see all the different pictures bigger, okay? Now, there's also a way you can access these other than these buttons here. If you go to the display menu, the same options are there: large thumbnails, small thumbnails, and details. So those are also there. Okay. Then there's times when I want to see what the design looks like in a kind of a realistic view, which is really cool. So I can just click on one of these. Let's just click on this one. And then I can do a realistic preview by going to click on the preview button on the toolbar. So there's different, we talked about the thumbnail ones. This, if I hover my mouse, the next one over says preview. So I've got one selected and I'm going to click on that preview button, and then another little box will open up and give me more of a realistic preview, like it looks like stitches then. So I can kind of see better how it's going to sew out. If I close that, I still have that same one selected. I can go over to the options menu, I'm sorry, the display menu, and it's also under display. There's the preview, and it will bring up the same box. So there's different ways of doing it. And there's actually about 3 ways, because if I also right click on the design I want, it'll let me preview it as well there. So there's several ways to open that up. It just depends on which works better for you. Okay. Let me get my page turned. All right, to view the properties of the design. So sometimes I want to know like how many stitches it has or how many, what colors it has, that type of thing. Those are in the properties of the design. So let's choose a different one. Let's choose this one. And then I can do the same thing up there on that little toolbar. Right over to the right of preview, the next one is properties. So then I can just click on the properties and it'll bring up on the screen, you know, like how many, when it was last modified, how big it is, how many stitches it has, how long it would take to sew out, how many colors it has in it, and then it has the colors listed below. And they are going to be in the brother colors. So it's very helpful sometimes to see that, and I don't really need to print it. I just need to see and like oh, that's going to be about 12,000 stitches. Okay, so that's another option. You can also access that through the display menu. There's the properties button there, or you can right click on it and the properties are there. So there's 3 different ways to get to these different things. Okay. Now, what I've always done with this software primarily is for organizing my embroidery designs, because when you organize through the program like this, if you look on the left, you know, we got all of our files on our whole computer right there. So I don't have to like jump back and forth so much to do like copying and pasting and so on. So it is kind of handy because then you can do that on your navigation pane on the left. So in Design Database, you can sort your embroidery designs into categories by creating special folders. You can move, copy, change the file names, all that, okay? So the first thing I want to do is I'm just going to make a folder where I can put my embroidery designs. So I'm going to call my first new folder, I'm going to put it in my documents, and I'm going to call it Design Practice. So I need to navigate to my folder that's called Documents. So my Documents folder is right here. I'm going to click on Documents, go to the File menu, and choose Create a New Folder. So I don't have any designs in my documents with the exception of this one that's showing up on my screen right now. That's just my Documents folder. So I'm going to go up to File, and I'm going to create a new folder. So if I click on that, it made a folder. If you look down here, this is my Documents. It kind of opened it up for me. And there's a little folder that says New Folder down here. So while it's still blue, I'm going to type in the words. I'm going to call mine Design Practice. And I'm going to hit Enter on the keyboard. So then I have now I have in my documents a folder, and if I go all the way up, you'll be able to see Documents. So here's my documents, and these are all the folders in my documents. And here's my new folder that I called Design Practice. Okay. So that's what's neat about this. I didn't have to you know, minimize or shut down the program, go to my documents, make the folder, and then come back. I could do it all in the Windows Explorer pane on the left. So I'm going to move a design to that folder so you can see how I do it. And I'm going to navigate first back to that folder that we just looked at with the flowers in it. So I want to make it, I'm going to put my designs in my Design Practice, but I have to find the designs first. So I know the designs that I have are in my, again, are in this PC, in my Windows C drive, and then I have to go back to Design, you know, Programs 86, P Design 11, the Design Library, and then I can go down and find that flower folder again. So I'm going to go to Floral 3. So as soon as you click on that, there's all my flowers again. I have to remember to turn my pages as I go here. Then I'm going to select a design that I want to move, okay? And because I want to put it in the Design Practice folder. and it's in the doc, so I'm going to put it in my documents. So now, the one thing about this though, is these designs in these folders, I don't want them to be permanently moved. Can you delete these folders? Yes, you can. So, yes, you can, Jackie. You can delete the folders. You can copy to them. You can delete the folders. Like if I wanted to delete a folder that I just made, I would just right click on it, and then I could select it, and then I could right click on it, and I can actually delete it, yes. But when I find these, this floral folder that I was in before, I want to put this into my documents. However, the designs that are in these folders inside the software, I do not want to permanently move those out of those folders. I want to leave them there. So I wrote some organizing notes underneath step number 5 on page 7 of the notes, because if their two folders are on the same drive, so like my documents and that folder with the software. Oh, you know what, Jackie, you can't. You have to go to the folder where it is to delete the folder. I forgot. This software will not let you delete the folder directly. You have to go back to the documents, and then find that folder, then you can delete it there, but not through the Explorer. You can delete designs, but not folders. Does that make sense? You can delete the designs out of the folders, but you can't delete the folder. The folder, you have to go back to the actual folder where it is to delete it manually. So I'm sorry I confused you. So my organizing notes are this. These designs that are on my screen right now, I do not want them to be permanently taken out of these folders. I want them left there. And so this is the things that I wrote out. If there are two folders on the same drive, in this case, my hard drive, they're both on the same drive, okay? The selected embroidery design is moved. So if I just grab it and drag it to the new folder, it will permanently move it out of this folder into my practice folder that I just created, okay? That's not what I want to do in this case. To copy a file from one folder to another on the same drive, if I would hold down the control key while dragging, then it just copies it. So that's what I want to do, okay? I don't want this design to, be moved. I want it to be copied. So there's a couple ways to do that. I can do the dragging. Honestly, I have a little trouble with the dragging method. So I usually use the right click and copy method. So you can also, if you are on different hard drives, like if you're on a USB stick, because if I had a stick plugged into my computer, I could also access that through this list on the left. And I can also, so I can copy and move with that. And there's different ways of doing that. But the one that I use the very most when I'm organizing is I'll find the design that I want to be in a certain place, and I will copy and paste it. Sometimes you do want to move them from the original folder into a new one. So if you want to do that, you can just grab it and pull it, and you don't have to copy and paste. But in this case, I want to copy and paste because I don't want to destroy these out of the design database. So I'm just going to pick one of these, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go down to copy. So I've copied my flower that I wanted to move, and then I'm going to go find my documents again. I have to open up my document folder, and then I have to go down to my design practice folder, and it's over here on the left now, and I'm going to right click on that folder, and I can paste. And then I could go back to my folder. Let's say I wanted 2 or 3 more of these. I can actually choose several at a time. So like I can choose the first one, I can hold my control key down, and I can do several of these at the same time. Okay, so let's say I want to do all of these into that design practice folder. I can right click, copy them, and then I can go find my design practice folder on the right, on the left-hand side, and I can right click and paste. And that's normally the way I do these, because then I don't destroy these folders. I don't always do that with every design, because you know, I may want them to be in a different folder. And then you can just pull and drag them if you don't want to copy and paste. Now, if I go over here and click on that folder that we've been using, the design practice folder, and click on it, see, now I've got these, say, 10 or so designs that we just copied and pasted in there. Okay? So by right-clicking on a design, you can copy and delete. And that's where I got confused, Jackie, is like, if I would go in here, this is my design practice folder. If I would right-click on one of these in there, I can then go down and delete. So yes, you can delete a design, but not a folder. You can go back in and do the folders manually. Okay, so that's how I do a lot of my organizing with this program. I can just pull things around into different folders. I can copy and paste. I can, there are some shortcuts that I wrote in the notes so that you can see the shortcuts for the other options, but most of the time I do copy and paste. Okay, so right, yeah, so I put on the top of page 8, number 7, I do the right click, copy and paste a lot. So to delete a design, again, I did the same thing. You can highlight it, you can right click and go down to delete, or you can highlight it and you can hit delete on your keyboard. So there's different ways of deleting individual designs. Okay. Now, is that making sense to everybody? What we're doing is we're navigating through our computer on the left, and we're finding the folders with the designs, and we can copy and paste them into different folders. Or you can pull, you can drop and drag. Okay, so there's a lot of different options available with this program. And what's cool though is you don't have to go back and forth in your computer. Everything is on the left-hand side. Your entire computer is showing up inside the program. So it does make it a lot faster. Okay. Sometimes I need to change a name of a design. So when you go to search, and we're going to search here in a few minutes, when you go to search, sometimes we want to search by a name. And so often designs come so often with just a number as the name. They don't have a name in the file name. It just has a number. And so sometimes it's hard to find things. I like to have some sort of a name. So often I'll rename the designs so that I know what they are, so I can find them easier with the program. So if I want to rename these though, I cannot do that in the thumbnail orientation. I need to have it in the detail orientation. So if I go up and I put these in details, and I'm still in my practice folder, if I choose details, that's where we get those lists of things here. And then what I do is I'm just going to select one of these. And the trick is though, you cannot highlight and you can't take out the .pes. You need to leave that in. So what you want to do is click on that name, and in front of the dot, to the left of the dot, then you can back up and you can rename this. So let's say this is going to be birthday. I'll just call this one birthday. And then I can hit enter. And then I could rename my designs. But you don't want to take out the .pes. You want to change the name to the left of the .pes. Okay? And you must be in this detail view to change names. All right, so I'm going to turn my page again. Okay, so is everybody kind of understanding how to navigate through your computer by clicking on the folder? So you can see there's a lot of little polka dot, like the little plus signs over here, and we've seen this for some years. Sometimes it's a little confusing, but if you kind of get the file organization in your head, it's sort of like a filing cabinet. So think of it as a paper filing cabinet, and everything is in a folder. So like my main filing cabinet is my computer. And then let's say I know that what I want is inside of my hard drive, or this PC. In this case, it's this PC. And I know my documents are in there. So then I have to go find the documents. So as you learn to kind of navigate through your computer, it's just like navigating through a paper filing cabinet with folders, so you can get everything organized down so you can find things more easily, okay? All right, so are there any questions? Does that make sense, how I'm navigating on the left? And then the pictures come up on the right. Second here, I was going to go back down to that design practice folder so you can see, and I'll put it back into thumbnails so you can see the pictures. Okay, so just remember, you have to be in details to change names if you need to change something, and then back to thumbnails so you can see the pictures. Okay, now one thing that I do quite a bit is actually converting designs. So my I digitize designs, so I often need one in a different format for somebody. So we can do that in here, and we can, so I can see the pictures and I know which one for sure that I'm converting. I can do that inside of Design Database. So I'm going to select one of these designs, and we'll just stay in the Design Practice folder, and let's just choose the first one. And I just have to select it. And then I'm going to, I can click. There's a couple different ways to do this. I can right click and convert format is there. And then I can also do that by going up to the file menu. So if I have the design selected that I want to convert, I can go to file, and then convert format is there. So they always give you 2 or 3 different ways to do things. So I'm just going to convert my format, and then this little box comes up. I usually use the right click method just because I right click a lot. So here's the little convert format box comes up, and for this particular design, I want to convert it, the format type, I'm going to convert it to an HUS. So it gives you all the options. So it's PES, DST, EXP. EXP is the one that a lot of the Bernina people use, and then HUS is a Viking. VIP is Viking. SEW would be an XXX, or the Singer machines, and JEF would be the Janome. So you may just know that you need to go, let's say we need to go to HUS for a Viking machine. I can put it in the same folder that it already is, or I can click the following folder, and I can then tell the computer where to put my converted design. So I'm going to tell it to go to my desktop. So I'm going to go click on the little folder, and I want it to go to my desktop. And again, I have to navigate. So it gives me another navigation pane, and I want it to go to my desktop. So I'm going to click on desktop like that. And then I am going to click OK. So then it's going to go to my desktop, and it's going to convert that birthday flower that we just renamed to an HUS file. And I'm just going to click the convert file or convert button. And if I go back down to my desktop here, I find it just a second. I'm not sure where it went. I know it's down here somewhere. I have a lot of stuff on my desktop right now, so I don't normally have this much stuff. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. It's right in front of me. So here's the little flowers. And if I hover my mouse on it, it says HUS now. So that one is now in a format so that someone with a Viking machine could use it. Okay. So see how easy that is to convert. So if you had an older machine, are a different machine like a Janome and you wanted to get some of those Janome designs converted, so you can convert them. I can also convert multiple designs at a time. So if I bring my database back up, like if I wanted to convert all of these at the same time, I could have just selected them all. You know, I hold my control key down and I could select all of them like that. And then I could do the same thing. I would then just go to File, Convert Format, or I could right click on them, Convert Format, and then I could go and put them into the folder that I want. Okay. Now, the one other thing in my converting notes, and I'm not going to go through every single little thing with you, but the PHC files that your machines produce can also be seen in this program. And then in PE Design 11, I can see the PHX ones that are in the new Luminaire. So it's kind of nice because I can see a picture of it. Otherwise, you just get like a white folder, you know, on your screen. I can't see them otherwise. And then I could also convert them to PES files and stuff here as well. So that's kind of nice that I can convert those PHCs. Actually, that you can't convert them directly in here. You have to like double click on them and bring them open into layout and editing, and then they become a PES file. But that's nice because then I can convert any of those files also. Okay. So that's some stuff about converting. I have this all down in the notes, so you can work through all the little exercises. There's a lot of stuff in this design database, so it's really kind of fun. So I'm going to open or import embroidery designs. PES files can be opened into layout and editing. That's that main section that we've talked about a little bit. And while other design files must be imported. So to open a PES file into layout and editing, all you have to do is double click on it. So if I have this birthday file that is a PES, I can just double click on this, and it'll take a second, but then my computer will open up PE Design Layout and Editing, and then there's my design in my software where I can do some alterations to it or whatever I need to do. If I need to bring one of these in that is, say, a different format, second, I think I missed a note. Open, okay, double clicking. Okay, so then you can import also. So that design that we made into an HUS file, now we will import the HUS file we created earlier into layout and editing, navigate in the folder to your desktop and locate that embroidery design. So remember we made that HUS file, and it'll show a picture of it too. So I'm going to go back to my desktop. And I have a couple of other designs there too, but here's our HUS. It says .HUS on it. I can click on that, and then if you go back up to File, see, it'll allow me to import there. So see, Open in Layout and Editing is not available because it is not a PES file. If I right-click on it, I can't import it from there either. So I need to select my other types of formats. I can go to File and then Import. So if I import it, then it will also then open up Layout and Editing. And then I can alter that design again. So I can use that also. So it's kind of neat how that works. You have to import. Please run, oh, just a second here, it's mad. Click and then File, Import into Layout and Editing. It should work. It's being testy tonight. There we go. I think it's going to work now. I've got a lot of stuff running on my computer, so it's probably mad. I think it's going to be mad. So this one is a PES file. So if I go up to File on this one, then I can open it. I can also import it, but for some reason it's not liking my HUS file tonight. So I apologize. I think I have a lot of stuff running on my computer, so it's probably just mad because I've got, you know, the software and the screen sharing, so it's just not going to open another program on my computer. But normally, if it's a different format like an EXP or a DST, you would have to go to File and Import. And then the PES ones, if I click on one of those on my desktop, see how it goes File, Open, and Layout and Editing. So it'll just let me open it then, because it is already a PES file. Okay, get my page turned again. Now, this is like one of my favorite things to do in the software. There is a search function in the software, so if you know the name of your design and you just don't know where you put it, you can actually type it in and it will search the whole computer for that design for you. It is important to have some names, so you can search by several different criteria though, and I often have a basic idea of what the name of it's going to be. So we're going to select a folder first where we're going to look. So this is how the search works. It's really cool. I'm going to make these a little smaller so you can see it. And I want to use my this PC, and I'm going to look in my whole. Let me close my document so you can see everything. I want to look in that whole, like Windows C or my main hard drive. I'm going to look through the whole hard drive for something. And in the File menu, I can choose Search. So I'm going to click first where I'm searching. I'm going to search in my Windows C, which is the whole computer. Then I'm going to go to File, and then see there's a search button. So I'm going to click Search, and this little box is going to come up. It's a little dialog box. And then we can tell it what to search for. To search for the names, a name of a design or part of it, you can, there's all these little options. So like I know a name of something, or I might know the format. Like let's say I know I've got an HUS folder file on here, but I don't know where it's at. I could choose format to search by. I can search by more than one item at a time. Like I can search, let's say I know that the stitch count was about 10,000 stitches, or I want a design that's around 10,000 stitches, so I can do that. I can go by the total colors. I can search by, like the color changes, how many color changes it has. Or if I remember approximately when I had it open last, I could search by a date modified. So there's a lot of ways you can search. And I found that not always searching by the file name is the best thing, because the name may not be angel or reindeer or whatever you're looking for. So I've started searching by, like, if I know about how big it is, I might search by the size, or I might search by the last time I had it open. I knew I had it open about a week ago, so I could search by when I had it opened, so and modified. So this search box gives you a lot of tools. But I happen to know that there are some designs on my computer let's see, I think I used the word angel in the exercise here. So let's go in. I'm going to type in, I'm going to click on the file name, and I'm going to click the name angel. And then I'm going to search. I'm just going to click search at the bottom, and it's going to search all the folders inside my hard drive. And all the different folders, the subfolders. What I mean by subfolders is, like, there's folders inside of folders inside of other folders. So it's going to search in all of those too. And this will take a little bit, so I'll just kind of talk through some of these other things while it's searching, because what it's going to do is going to show all of the designs that are called angel on this right-hand side then after it searches. So when I'm searching, like I just said a few minutes ago, you can also search by format, stitch count, color count, width, height, date, and so on. You can search with a combination of conditions. So if you want to search with 2 or 3 different ones, sometimes the search is more accurate, because then you're getting everything. You're looking at more information. To quit the search, click cancel, search cancel. And hopefully this won't take too long. I do have quite a lot of stuff on my computer, so it did take a few minutes. Oh, here we go. We're doing good. Okay. So here is what it found with the name angel in it. So I've got a whole bunch of different designs on here. There's bunch of my recipe towels. There's some of the little cross stitches that I've done. So these are all on my computer, on my hard drive, and with the name Angel in them. So that is how the search works. It's very simple. You just tell it what folder to search in, and then you go to File, Search, type in what you want to search for, and then you can find it. I mean, it really helpful. Now, if you don't have everything named, it will be a little bit harder to find things. So I often do name things when I'm putting them away on my computer. I'll actually name the folder something more specific than like design number 53215. You know, that's how a lot of them come. Okay, so that is the search function. See how easy that was to do? You just pick where you want it to search. Sometimes I know that I want it to be searched in a certain folder. So I might say I went to my documents and I wanted it to search for the designs only in my, let's say in my Anita Good Design folder. So then I can just do that. So it's kind of neat because then you can just tell it one folder, or multiple folders, or like I just did the whole hard drive. Okay. So the other thing that's cool about this program is then I can also print catalog pages, or I can just print one design. Let's say I have a design and I just need to know what the colors are, how many stitches are in it, all that, and then I can print that out and have it next to my machine while I'm sewing. So I really like this part. I've printed a lot of catalog pages. So let's go back to that file that had the flowers in it. So let's see, we have to navigate. So we have to go back to this PC, and then I have to go back down, whoops, second here. Got to go back down to the C drive, and then I have to go to Programs times 86 and Brother, and then PE Design 11, I found that, and then my design library, and then I have to go down to Floral 3. So here's the flowers again. And then I'm going to set up how I want these to print. So there's a way to do that. You know, just like most programs, there's like a print preview and like a setup. So we're going to go to File, and we're going to go to Print Setup. And I'm going to tell it how I want to print. I have some options. I can print it, I can print one design. So like under print layout, I can print one design, I can print 4 on a page, I can print like 12 on a page. And let's just try one. We'll just try one. A second here. Got to get back to my regular printer here. And let's just try one. And then actually let's do one that has more. So let's do the 12 so you can see what they look like. And then I also want to have it be the color description, the name, or I could actually have it under code. So like that would be the number of the thread, depends on what you like better. And I chose the 12, and now, okay, so normally I would click print at this point, but I don't want to print this tonight, so I'm just going to click print preview so you can kind of see what it's going to look like when it prints. So I'll click print preview, and then the little page comes up, and you're going to see a picture of each one of the designs, and then on the right hand side it's going to give you the if I bring this up a little bit, you can see it a little bit better. There we go. You just enlarge it, and then you can see on the right it'll show all of the colors in the design, and then underneath it'll give the size of it and how many stitches it has. So it's very handy to do this. I often use the single one because then I am just have the one design that I'm doing, and so this is a good place to do that. Okay, so we can print catalogs. And there's a bunch of other notes that I wrote in here about the catalogs. And again, I always choose the system units into inches so that I get the size in inches here. Because if you do millimeters, it'll be in millimeters. Okay. Now, a couple of the next things that I'm going to do quickly, you may not do very often, but I do use this next one actually fairly regularly. So let's say I'm in this folder, and I need to have a JPEG, a picture. So I've digitized these designs, let's say, and I want to send a picture to my customer of the design that I've done so they can see what it looks like. Let's just pick one of these. We'll just pick this little flower here. Okay, so I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to go up, and I know this is going to sound funny. You're going to choose create HTML document, and what that means is that's like an internet document. But what it does is it produces JPEG images. And I don't know why they just don't have it select, produce images, but it just says HTML. So it says create image file and HTML. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that of this design right here. And actually, we can do the whole, let's just do the whole folder. Yeah, we can do the whole folder. So if you don't have anything selected in the folder at all, it'll do the entire folder. So you just don't want to have anything selected. I'm going to deselect that. There we go. So then I'm going to go up here to File and Create Image and File and HTML. And then I'm going to tell it, I got to turn my page, sorry. I'm going to tell it, I'm going to give my file name a name. So I'm just going to call it Flowers. And I'm going to make a new folder on my desktop. Oops, I didn't want to put it there. Let's go to desktop. There we go. And I'll make a new folder on my desktop. And I'm going to call that folder Flowers. And I'm going to call the whole thing, there's a page title thing. I'll just call it, it was called Birthday Flowers. So I'll just call it Birthday Flowers. Okay. And I want it to be, a whole bunch of them at once. So I'll just leave the like multiples, like, 8 or 12 on the page. Make sure I didn't miss a step. And then I'm going to go ahead. Let's do the bigger one. Let's do the 12. And then I'm going to click Save. So it's going to go into a folder on my desktop. And it's going to be called Flowers. But what's cool about this, then I have JPEG images of my embroidery designs. So I'm going to put this down, and I got to find that folder wherever it went here. Hopefully I got it on the desktop. I thought I stuck it on here. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. There's Flowers. So if I open up my Flowers folder, and then here are the HTML. Here's the HTML document. It's going to look sort of like it's going to look sort of like the little preview that we just did, like the print preview. But what I use more often is, just a second here, let me get this closed. Okay, so it's not confusing. What I use more often is this Flowers folder. Inside of here is the picture of the flower. And see, I accidentally had one selected, so only did the one. But there's the picture of that flower that I need to send to my customers so that I can just show them what the design looks like. So I use this more often for this, just to make a picture of it so people can see what my design looks like. So you can do this with a design you created, one that you're going to show off for somebody that's already been purchased from somewhere. But it is handy because then I can send them a picture, like a JPEG. They can't open probably my PES file, but they can open a JPEG image. So that's what I use this for, and it comes in very handy. Okay, so I use that quite a bit. The other thing you can do that I do not use very often, I'm just going to tell you about it. I'm not going to show you tonight. So I got to get, there we go, get the database open. There's actually a way to make a CSV file. And what a CSV file is something you might open up. Let's say you want to make a Excel spreadsheet of all your designs and all the information about your designs. And you can actually do that with this as well. It's sort of like a catalog, but it would be in an Excel spreadsheet. And I don't use spreadsheets very often, but I know people that do like them. And you can also create that in the software. You would just choose the folders that you want to do that with, and then it's under File, and then it's Create CSV File. So it's kind of done the same way as what we just did with the HTML file or the picture file. Okay? There's so much stuff in this. This is just such a cool program that you can just play around in here. It's very easy to get around once you get used to it, and you can really get your designs organized in a way. The thing I like about this program is you're not organizing the designs inside the program. You're organizing them on your computer. Unlike the Floriani design album, I think it's called. If you were changing things and putting things in folders and that, it's actually inside the program. And then if your computer crashed and you put the program back on, all the designs would be gone and you'd have to do it again. But this is actually doing it and moving things around on your computer. So that's why I've always liked this program, and it's been fun to play with. And you have good pictures so that you can see. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you is how you can write designs to a USB from here. And you can do like a whole bunch. So let's say you have 5 different folders that you want to put on your USB stick, but you wanted to pick like 3 designs out of each folder to put on your USB. Well, this way you can do them all at the same time, instead of having to go back and forth out of the folders to do it, okay? So I am going to open up the bottom part of this, the bottom part of the screen. And remember the little arrows down here we did before? This is the bottom part is now the writing section of the design database. And there's 2 options. Now, right now, I have, if you can see over here, and I'm not going to actually do this because most of you don't need to do this anymore. I still have an old machine that requires one of those old brother cards. So you can see right now it says send to card writer. So I have my card writer plugged in here, as well as the security device for the PE Design 11, because you still have to have the box in order to write a card. So if I have this option here, that means I have a card writer box plugged into my computer. I'm going to actually unplug this now because I want to show you on a USB stick. So if I click on this little arrow right now, the only option I have is card writer, because that's what I have plugged in. So if you give me a second, I'm going to unplug this box. Most of you will not need to use this anymore because your machines all have USBs. So I'm just going to unplug this, and I'm going to plug in a USB stick instead. And now when you look at my option, it says send to USB stick. So I can do the same things that I've always used with my cards. I can use a USB stick. So let's go pick some designs. So let's say out of this folder, second here, I want maybe the first 3 designs. So if I click on one, hold my control key down, I can get the first 3. Okay, then there's a little arrow in the center, and I'm going to click on the arrow, and then it sends it down to the bottom part of the screen. That's the part that's going to get written to my USB stick. Well, then let's say I want to go into, that I need a good design bag one that I did that from 2014. Let's say I want to print out Barb's and Amanda's bags again. I wanted to sew those out. So there's those 2 bags, and then I want to go, and I'm going to hit that little arrow again, like that. So then I can get those. And let's say, let's see. I would like to go get some of my designs to write to the stick, and they're in my documents. So I'm going to go down here. Let's say I want my pillow designs that I've been working on, and they're in my documents. So give me a second. I have to find the settee pillows. I'm getting there. Here's the settee pillows. Let's say I want my new Christmas one. I just did a Christmas one. And here's the 3 panels. I'm going to select all 3 of those, and I'm going to click the arrow. And then let's say I wanted a couple of the Halloween. I wanted the Halloween one too. So I'm going to click on the Halloween pillow. I'm going to select those 3 designs, and I'm going to send those to the stick. So see how easy this is? I can go through all of the different designs I want. Instead of having to go back and forth and back and forth, I can navigate on the left, find all of the designs that I want, and then move them to the bottom. So here I've got all these designs down here, and then all I have to do to write them to the stick is, see, there's a little right button. And let's say, oh, you know, I didn't want Amanda's bag. If I click on that, I can actually remove it as well from the list. So I would just remove that one from the right list. Okay. Then I just click this right button, and it finished outputting the data. Okay. So I'm going to click OK. And if you give me a second, I will show you that those are all on my memory stick now. And isn't that cool? Because it takes so much, whoops, sorry, wrong one, different stick. Got to scroll down a little further, here we go. So then there's all those designs on my memory stick. And I really like using that because then you can see the pictures very quickly. You can go to a lot of folders in a matter of minutes and get them all on the stick at the same time. And yes, you can also use that with still with the card, and I still use my card. I have an old machine at the store, 2 of them actually, that I have to use that old card, and it works just the same way, but I have to plug the box in to do that. Okay. All right. So at the very end of the notes, I say happy organizing. So this is such a great way to organize your designs, move designs around, change the format if you have multiple machines. You know, I know a lot of people that have 3 machines, and they're all in a Janome, a Viking, and a Brother, or Baby Lock. Okay. And yeah, Margaret says she still has a card. She still has a machine with a card. So this is how you can get a whole bunch of designs on the card or on your USB stick at the same time. Okay, and see how easy that was. I like to use it. I like to look at the pictures. I like to organize things in here. I can move things around quickly, and then I can write them to a card quickly or to a stick quickly. Okay, so that is a quick overview of Design Database. I have uploaded my notes that I kind of went by tonight to the group in the file section. So you should see the post, and then you can download them. It's a PDF file, and then you can go through and work along with the notes again and the video and go through all these different things. I know there was a lot of information tonight. I knew there would be. This is such a cool program, and it's so much fun to play in it. Oh, no, Jackie, I bet you version 7 does not have the stick option because it's old enough that it doesn't have it. But Jackie, if you're interested in having a newer version of the software, I do still have a couple of PE Design 9 or Next upgrades for like $100. We have them on clearance for like $100. So if you want to upgrade your software a little bit, you'd have a little bit more options. And I actually really like PE Design Next very well. I still use it too. I use 9 and 11 now. So that would be another option for you. And then you would be able to use your sticks, because I know you can do the sticks in version 9 also. Okay. Are there any other questions? So thank you for joining me tonight. I really enjoy doing these. And so next month in January, it will be on Sunday. So we will change, again, the time will be Sunday at 6 p.m., just like So Long with Jan, but we'll have it here on Sessions on Software. It'll be the 5th. And I'm going to do, Margaret asked if we could learn to make patches, and we will do patches in Perfect Embroidery Pro, in PEP. We will do patches. So I'll have something, we'll have fun and make some patches, okay? Is there any other questions? All right. So I hope this helped you. I really like Design Database. I haven't taught this class for a really long time, and I've always really liked this part of the software. So this is the one I use a lot. I use Layout and Editing, and I use Design Database, are the 2 that I use. So I think that it's a lot of fun, and you can do a lot of organizing. If designs not being organized is a problem for you, this part of the program will really help you. So, all right. So I will see you on So Along with Jan on Sunday night. We will have a class on Sunday night. We're going to make the pillow, the Christmas pillow, and then we will have another Sessions on Software on January 5th. On Sunday night. So I'll remind you that it's going to be on Sundays now. Okay, so everybody have a nice evening, and I will see you all very soon. Thank you for coming, everybody.